This is a HeadGum podcast.
You got mail.
Hi, I'm Elise Morales.
And I'm Millie Tamares.
And this is Go Touch Grass, the podcast where we log in
so you can log off.
Millie and I are two chronically online comedians, and on this pod, we break down the week in internet discourse, viral memes, TikTok trends, and niche influencer drama so that you can go do literally anything else.
And if you like what you hear today and want to hear more, we got a Go Touch Grass Patreon already up with tons more content weekly, access to our Discord community, and our spin-off series, Search History, where we go back and break down a viral discourse from the past. This week on the Patreon, we go into the deep, dark depths of Luigi Mangioni's Reddit and Twitter.
And his Facebook post.
And
we
his
do a
Facebook
whole
post.
retrospective on his social media because, as you guys remember, last week when we recorded,
We didn't know anything.
we just found out about him.
He
Name
just dropped.
Released. Photo, six-pack just released.
Just a six-pack. He was hotter than anyone ever expected him to be.
So on the Patreon, we go further into the digital footprint that he has
Luigi
left
Mangione.
behind.
Disturbing, sad, but
Interesting.
also understandable how he got
There's a lot.
to be that hot and burdened with never having sex.
And that's a true tragedy.
And
that's
that's
one
the
of
true
many
tragedy.
tragedies that has occurred in relation to this situation.
Yeah.
So remember, if you are
Someone did die. Yes,
someone did die.
Yeah, and
so
we
that's
have to
probably
say
not the ultimate tragedy, but
Yeah.
there are many tragedies
There are many
wrapped
tragedies.
up in the situation.
Yeah.
If you want, you can buy that episode individually on Patreon, or you can sign up at the $5, $10, or $1 level.
Yeah.
Our $1 patrons get one free new episode a month. I guess it costs them $1.
Yeah.
They get one episode a month, and this was our $1 episode.
Yeah.
So there are lots of options for you to hear our retrospective on Luigi's pages.
Luigi, so sad. Tragic. The Pagliacci, the Italian tragedy, Italian-American tragedy, based in New Jersey, not The Sopranos.
Wow. Okay, that's New Jersey is going to come back around in
New
today's
Jersey,
episode.
and guess what? It
but
all goes back to New Jersey.
It all goes back to New Jersey. But okay, I don't have a transition. I'm not Millie. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating and review. We love your reviews. We need more of them, but really the best review you can give us is to tell your friends about the podcast. Tag us in a little story. We will repost it. You know that we're online.
We're
We're
always
responding
online.
to DMs. We're talking to people.
Someone DM'd us and said that she just had a baby.
I know.
Yeah,
I saw
so
that.
we
So
said-
shout out to our listener who just
And
had a
then-
baby.
And also someone also DM'd us, and I told her about the trend called low-income white girl eyes, which is a trend on TikTok. And once you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. It doesn't fit in our show, but whatever. But even more exciting than low-income white girl eyes, you can see Elise and I live hosting UCB's annual It Sucked Awards on December 29th at 7 p.m. We have some hilarious comedians to hand out awards for the suckiest people, moments, and memes of 2024.
There's a lot to cover.
There's a lot to cover. It'll be in person and live stream tickets. Tickets in person are $15, live stream are $10, and it'll be ahead of our memes and review. We and Elise are gonna record our memes and review, which you will get on like New Year's Day.
I think it comes out on New Year's Day. We will review all the memes of 2024. So there's a lot of options for you to look back at the year in virality with us.
I know. I was doing research and I'm like, I can't believe we're talking about JD Vance fucking a couch this year.
That was this year.
That was this year that we were talking about him.
And next year, he'll be the vice
president. And that is another Italian tragedy.
I don't know that he's Italian.
No, he's not.
No, he's not giving
famously low-income white man eyes. Yeah.
Converted to Catholicism as an adult. Which
Wow.
is interesting.
Italian influence.
There we go. That's Italian influenced for sure. Guys, we need to get into today's episode.
I'm so excited.
We have an amazing guest with us today.
Very special.
So special. We are so excited. She's a musician. She's a singer. She's a guitarist. And she's fresh off a performance on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Heard of it?
Comedian. I'm kidding.
So partially, yeah.
Yeah. Now she's with the comedy greats today.
Exactly. Her new album, Mirror, Starts Moving Without Me, is out now. It's Mia Berrin of Pom Pom Squad.
Whoa!
Oh, we're so excited to have you.
I'm very excited to be be here. I'm very much enjoying the rhythm of this conversation.
We put a lot of crazy energy up top already. Which
Yeah.
is being like,
So people know we're setting the stage for this is what mental illness in women look like, you know?
That's so true. Yeah.
it is true.
Thank you.
I'm very familiar with mental illness and women.
Well, as
My
I hope
areas
you
of
are.
special interest.
That's
Our
beautiful.
mental illness in women.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Well, there you
and
go.
that's lesbian culture. Anyway,
Lesbian
hi,
culture.
thank you for having me.
Yeah, we are truly so excited. So, okay, wanted to start off with this question for you because you're the first musician that we've had on the podcast. And there's a ton of discourse online about like the effect that algorithms on Spotify and TikTok have had on the music industry in recent years. So, as someone who makes music in the age of algorithms, how do you think about these apps? How do you think about your relation to them? Do they affect the music that you make or how you put it on?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to not be affected by the algorithm. Can I curse? I
Oh, yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
sorry.
That's
we
what I
haven't
figured,
cursed
but I
yet?
just wanted to check.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's so fucked up. Like, being a musician and having to, it's like, I don't know, not to be all big brain about it.
No,
but
listen, we love big brain.
We
I
love big
feel
brain.
like the main takeaway that I've noticed with TikTok and like algorithms and artistry is I feel like you have to be more marketing minded than ever. And I feel like being marketing minded and being an artist can be so, I think you can be really good at both, and there's so many artists who are great at both, but I do see a lot of songwriters mostly just focusing on like what's the gimmick of the
Yeah.
song rather than like let me write a song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for
Yeah.
the joy of doing it, or to like express something that maybe is not gimmicky enough to like get a bunch of attention on social media.
I mean, I think we see that a ton in comedy and
Yeah.
stuff too, where now like the entire game is to try to get clips and go viral from your clips. And sometimes that's related to people who are super duper funny and great stand-ups or great comedians with characters and all that stuff. And sometimes it's just people who can produce nice, fancy looking clips.
Yeah.
Like it's at the
Yeah.
expense of the joke writing. So I think
Well, there's
I-
a lot of crowd work. I feel like crowd
Crowd
work
work.
Oh
is the
gosh.
big thing.
Well,
Yeah.
that's like because you gotta constantly feed the machine, and if to actually, it's not like music where like if you see a clip online, but then you see it live, there's a completely different experience. Even if you've seen them like a million clips of the song or the music video,
Yeah.
seeing it live is so different versus comedy. It's like it's actually not as funny if you see it online. So. But to be able to continue trending, you have to constantly feed the beast.
Yeah.
So you gotta kind of keep putting clips, and then it's all like the shitty, like, oh, what is your job? Oh, you're an engineer. Engineering sucks, bullshit. But also too, like the things that make music and art fun and interesting and is experimentation and pushing limits and stuff, and that's not necessarily encouraged by like these clippable, memeable, like virality clips and stuff. So like I could totally see that makes so much sense.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really weird like economy to be in as an artist, and I've had to like unplug as much as I literally physically can. I just like listen to a lot of music from my childhood, and that was kind of what informed a lot of my most recent album, because I was like, I just can't engage with what like my peers are doing right now because it's making me get way too in my head about everything.
Yeah, and I mean, and this is something we've talked about a lot, is like the algorithms do reward a lot of sameness. Like they want to just show you the same thing over and over again. And I mean, I know I've seen it with like comedy and characters. I've seen people who I know are super talented and funny, but because of how TikTok works, they have to basically make the same video over and over and over again, because
Yeah.
otherwise it's not gonna get, the algorithm like won't pick it up, or it won't do the same numbers as it would do. And I imagine that you can see a similar thing in music where the algorithm will be like, okay, songs about this are trending, so we're just gonna show
Yeah.
songs that sound like this are trending, so it's just that over and over and over again.
Or just the artist has like their one story about the one particular song, and then they just make the same video over and over and
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
It drives me up a fucking wall. And it's like I just end up blocking artists that I like, or like muting artists that I like, because I'm like, I don't want to hear it. Like I already know the song and I like the song. Like
Yeah.
I don't need to keep hearing the story about the song over and over and over.
Yeah.
I think that's part of like being an artist now, like comedy or music is like you have to mute your peers. Like
Yeah.
I mute so many of my peers because I'm like, this depresses me, and also I know it's a lie, and also whatever. But speaking of the musician economy, I have a question, or I guess kind of two questions, right? So I know that you're on Patreon, or you used Patreon in the past. So this is a trend that I've noticed about like musicians using Patreon as a thing, and like why is that necessary now, and like what is that kind of the conceit behind it. And then also another thing, I know we met in January at like the New York Abortion Fund fundraiser event, and you shared a story about how you had to use crowdfunding in one of your tours. So like this idea of fans directly giving you money, and like how that changed from the past where somebody could make an album and that would give the like, I'm just so curious about that kind of modern relationship with your audience and money and all that.
Yeah, I mean, man, like money, I'm fucking broke, homie.
Well,
like it's
listen.
so
it's
are we.
so difficult
Yeah.
to make money from art. And listen, like I'm doing decently well. Like I do music full time and I can make a
Just
living
did
from
Colbert.
music. And
Just did Colbert.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Just did Colbert, and is that Go Touch Grass?
No, I mean,
and is currently doing Go Touch Grass
So I mean,
on Headgum
you
Network.
really like
So-
can't get better.
big leagues. But no, I mean, I'm like very privileged in many ways as an artist in that like I make money from touring and I like tour pretty consistently, and so that's nice. But yeah, we did have to do crowdfunding because I did get robbed. I did get robbed. My van got broken into, and they just cleaned us out.
No.
Yeah.
And it was like all your amps and
Everything.
instruments.
Well, it was like they stole everything but my drummer Shelby's cymbals and snare. And you guys have seen Nope, right?
Yeah.
You know the scene with the shoe from Nope where he's just like staring at the shoe, and like that's the thing that sticks out of this like really traumatic moment.
Yes.
My bandmate Alex tells this story where it's like we open the van and it's just so empty, and he's just staring at the cymbals and snare, and he's like, no, it's fine, but the cymbals are there.
The cymbals
Those
are
are
here.
there, so it's fine. So everything's here. Like it's just the thing that sticks in your mind.
and you guys were halfway through your tour?
We had like 3 shows left, and man, that tour is so insane for like many, many reasons. But I never ever leave things unattended in the van, and it was just like one of those days where we were like, my tour manager was like, "Oh, we'll be in the place we're going for 10 minutes," and I was like, "Okay, then I'll stay behind with the van." And then for whatever reason, I went, "No, actually, I won't," which. Kind of thank God I hadn't, because if I had been alone in the van, something way worse could have happened.
Yeah.
But we went in for 15 minutes, we came back out, and it was just like everything was fucking gone. And the Italian police, I mean,
You were in Italy.
police.
So
We
you
were
were in
in
your
Italy,
European
yes.
tour.
yes, European tour. We were in Italy. I'd never been to Milan before. We're in Milan, and the police were like cartoon police. Like they literally, I had air tags in my stuff, so I was like, oh, I know where it is. Like, so we called the police and we were like, hey, listen, like, I see where the stuff is. Can you go get it? And the dude literally went, it's 20 minutes away. Like, he was hemming and hawing. He's like, it's 20 minutes away. Like, to his other dude.
The Italian police are never beating the uselessness allegations.
Oh my God. They were on break.
Should have called
on
a
the
plumber.
job.
Mario would have gotten it. And we know Luigi would have gotten justice.
He would have taken it into his own hands.
Luigi would have, listen, you would have got your guitar back.
I would. Well, I ended up having to I don't know what took over me, because I'm a pretty pragmatic person, I find. And I was like, I'm going to the AirTag and I'm getting my stuff. And so we ended up in this like apartment complex kind of in the projects of Italy. And I was like going through the trash. And I found my passport and like some of my stuff, thankfully.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was
I mean, the
smart.
passport is like a vital thing
Yeah.
to find.
Oh my God. Well, I was just like, how am I going to get out of Italy?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also scary because you're like, what is someone gonna do with my passport?
Yeah.
Like now, am I gonna be like implicated in like internet? Like,
Yeah,
there's
Oh,
bigger.
absolutely. No, I was terrified. They stole like my hard drives and stuff. I don't have
Yeah.
anything like they just stole a bunch of my music, which like enjoy, but
Yeah.
you know, they ended up stealing just like weird stuff too. Like they left my more expensive pair of shoes and then they like took my cheaper pair of shoes and good luck.
They're
to
like,
them.
this Italy. It's a crime for you to have these cheap shoes. So you crowdfunded for that?
Yes, yeah. Thankfully, we didn't really have another choice. I didn't know about, I'm like learning all of this by myself. Like I run my business, like I am still an independent artist. So I didn't have insurance on my gear. We did a GoFundMe. It got funded within 12 hours, which was pretty incredible. It was
That's great.
one of the kindest, nicest things that's ever happened to me. So,
I mean, that is beautiful. I am like just thinking of this image of these like Italian thieves putting in your hard drive and being like, whoa, you got to listen to this, man.
The music's good.
Well, it's like they have my journal too, so they know a lot of it. They have the T on me.
That's
They can
so
read in
funny.
English in cursive, but yeah, I'm like,
Wow.
I don't want to know what they know.
Well, that's so funny because there's like this like a Colombian novela where this guy like takes this girl's journal and uses it like her lyric book and like falsely imprisons her, but then he becomes this
not where that I
reggaeton
expected that to
star.
go.
Yeah, it's basically Count of Monte Cristo, where like he takes her thing, becomes this huge reggaeton star, but it's all her. So his first 2 albums are really good, and he like grew, but then his later albums suck, and it's because the first 2 albums are all from this lyric book that he took,
Right.
and then she like hides her identity and takes revenge on him, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So
I feel like
somebody's
if I
gonna
was
do
him,
that.
I would just start a makeup brand. You know what I mean? Like you get out of the game. Like,
Get out of
Rihanna,
the game,
You don't have
exactly.
to release another album. Everyone just loves what you did before.
Well, that shade for other musicians. But talk to us about Patreon and musicians on Patreon.
Yeah, I mean, I did Patreon because I needed to do it. And also, like, I have a very engaged fan base, which is nice. And so it's
We know all about
fun.
that. Grass
Yeah.
Nation. They're
Grass
engaged.
Nation.
We love Grass Nation.
Isn't
love
it Grastronauts is the other?
Oh,
Yes, thank
wow.
you. I love
Yes.
Grastronauts.
I researched.
Did a little
Yeah.
research. Yes,
I
Grass
think that's
Nation,
really
Grastronauts.
cute.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, Patreon, it's not my favorite platform, to be honest, but it's been fun. Kind of like it allows me to just do more creative work and release more stuff to like a smaller group of people, so I can be like less precious about things and like less of a perfectionist, and that's very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess like for me, where like what was interesting to me is that before an artist could release a song and then kind of like live off that, and then that money from that song could fund them developing more music. And same with comedy, same with a lot of art and acting and stuff. But now with like the gig economy, ification of everything, like we need. I mean, our Patreon helps us pay for developing this podcast and like the bonus stuff and everything. So it's just like, it's interesting to hear that with music too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Well, I think it's time for us to get into today's discourse.
yes.
Ready?
So the discourse is our segment where we talk about something that is being widely discussed online, something viral. We get our takes on it. And today's discourse is not only holiday themed.
Okay.
Ooh.
It involves a group that we've definitely discussed on the podcast before, but I don't think that we've ever discussed their true power in this way.
Italians.
We've discussed the power of Italians on many levels. No, today we are talking about Disney adults.
Oh man.
Disney adults. They've never gotten our true undivided attention. We've talked about in our pilot episode, there was the dust up with Rachel Zegler and fans of Snow White. We
Yes.
talked about that. We talked about the Star Wars Hotel.
Yeah, we talked about what do you call it when people kind of hintily dress up as characters?
Disney bounding.
Disney
Ooh, This
bounding.
is where I'm about to really. So I grew up in Orlando for a time.
Yeah, I grew up in Hollywood, Florida.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I have a family member who works at Disney, so this is actually a thing that I know a lot about.
Okay,
Wow.
wow, this rocks.
yeah, I was
actually.
like, "There's no way." I'm
That-
like, did you research me?
I
before this?
did not. I didn't research you in the way that I knew that.
Yeah. We
This
did
is
research it,
actually
yeah.
just This is just kismet, because that was what I was going to
That's
ask. Is what is
crazy.
your relationship to the parks? So you're
Yes, when I was in Orlando, I was homeschooled for a time, and my mom would just like drop me off at the parks.
That's
pretty rad.
incredible.
It
So
was kind of nice.
I grew up in LA and my mom's best friend worked for the parks. And so I went to the parks a lot as a kid
The free
as
pass,
well.
yes.
Yeah, because that was back in the day when like they really would let you in for free. Now I think it's like a lot harder even as an employee.
If you have a family member, so it's weird, like scheduling wise, their stuff. I don't want to get anyone in trouble, so I don't know how much I'm supposed to say, but you can still get free passes if you have an immediate family member who works there.
Yeah.
But but it's like you can only go on certain days. Like they block.
Yeah, they
you
probably
from
have
going
blackout
on-
days.
Yeah.
I feel like they're not like they're a little. You could still get in for free because I feel like it's like they make most of their money in fucking concessions and stuff.
Yeah, but I think it's a lot harder now than it used to be. Like if like maybe for immediate family members, but we were like friends of, and she could get us in like pretty regularly. Whereas now it's like those tickets are expensive now.
They're like
too.
$150
And then you got to get Genie Plus so that you can cut the
Get
line.
on
There's
anything.
a lot of going on. in
And then the
parks.
food is crazy.
And then the food is crazy. Some of it's good.
So, I mean,
If you get a good
it's
churro-
expensive.
Oh, I love a churro.
Yeah.
Like churros are good, but then do they cost $15?
Yeah.
A no churro should cost $15.
My friend, we were in I was in Sunnyside yesterday. Sunnyside, Queens. Like, tell me how much they were charging for a hot chocolate in Sunnyside, Queens. Girl, it was $10
No.
for some packet
Hot
shit.
chocolate?
For a packet hot chocolate. Get out of my fucking face. So if a Sunnyside, Queens
Hot
place
chocolate.
is charging $10, that's just gonna be
Yeah.
$25
Churros
in Disney.
$35.
Churros
Yeah.
$35.
I actually can't even speak
Easy.
to what the markup on a Disney churro is these days. It's been a while.
Yeah,
since-
I can't either. I'm going back to Orlando in January, so I'll let you know.
Yeah, call in. We
Yeah.
have
Call
call
in.
in. Call in and let
Hello.
us know.
Yeah.
Hi, it's Mia. I got a churro.
$45 for a churro. It's just going up.
And I had to
incrementally.
use Genie Plus to like schedule when I could retrieve the churro.
But also, Donald Trump said he was going to do the churro. I'm kidding.
Oh my God.
I'm like, let's see the price of churro go down, Donald.
Yeah,
we're
eggs,
joking.
churros. Help. Anyway.
He already said he can't affect the prices.
Yeah,
So
that's what
anyway.
he said like last week. It's like,
Are you serious?
yeah, he said last week, he's like, well, I can't really help things go down.
Yeah, he was like, it's
Oh,
actually really hard to
great.
get the prices down on
So
stuff.
glad everyone elected you.
I
Then.
know.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Got
On a
him.
Anyway.
platform of cheaper eggs.
It's not a pyramid scheme. It's just a triangle. It's a isosceles triangle.
Okay.
Oh Jesus Christ.
So this is perfect.
What's going on with Disney?
Yeah, we'll
adults?
talk.
hate
We'll
that
talk about.
man.
Put
Anyway.
a pin in Donald Trump.
yeah, I don't
We
want
don't
him
need to
here.
get involved anymore. We're at the happiest place on earth. We don't need to be bringing him in.
I mean,
So today, like, okay, this is amazing that you guys have a background. For our listeners, as you probably know, one of the attractions at the Disney parks, in addition to the wonderful rides and the hot churros and all of the stuff, is meet and greets with Disney cast members who wander the parks dressed as characters and also perform in various parades. They are referred to as cast members broadly, but cast members are divided into different camps. So there are like the fur characters. So those are people in the mascot suits. It's Mickey, it's Minnie, Goofy. You're not seeing their real face. They're a person in a suit. And then there are face characters, which is anyone who appears as in a human form, right? There's a hierarchy to this with the princesses at the top of the pyramid of face characters. And then you have like other Disney characters. You've got your princes, your evil queens, your evil stepsisters. And then there are also characters that just kind of exist for the purpose of these parades and stuff who are not from movies. And it is one of these characters who is the focus of our discourse
Okay.
today. So
Let's meet our hero
we're meeting our hero.
or villain.
Our hero.
Okay,
Hero.
okay.
We're pro.
Wow.
I'll say it right up front.
wow.
Pro. Tally the elf.
Okay.
Tally
Okay.
the elf is a character who has been created for Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas Time parade at Magic Kingdom specifically.
Okay. It is also, me and Elise have wildly different FYPs.
Yes.
And when she says something's widely discussed, it is discussed on her side of the thing.
Yes.
Because I haven't heard shit about
Me
Tally the
either.
elephant.
No. Oh, listen. I'm deep in Disney face character and X face character TikTok.
Wow.
So Tally the elf.
This is why they want to shut it down.
This is what they
is
don't
what-
want us to talk
this
about.
is
The
they don't
government
want
is shutting down TikTok because they don't want me to tell you guys about Tally the elf.
That's fucked up.
They don't want
Elf
us
or
to-
elephant?
Elf.
Elf,
He's an
okay,
elf. He's a
okay.
person, face character.
Okay.
And his deal is that he walks the route of this parade and he has a big fake pencil and a big fake list. And let's say, Mia, you're standing right at the front of the parade, as I'm sure you always are. He's going to come up to you and he's going to say, what's your name? And you're going to say, Mia. And he's going to look on his big fake list and he's going to go, naughty, and run away.
Wow.
Every once in a while, he'll tell someone that they're nice, but mostly he tells you that you are naughty and you have banter with him and he runs away.
Okay.
That is the purpose of this character.
I'm already
I'm so
like
scared of where this is going.
I already feel like there's like 18,000 Karens that are like, you called my kids naughty.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm ready.
So to put you at ease, the response to Tally the elf is enormously positive.
Okay.
People love Tally the elf. And specifically, they love one actor who is playing Tally the elf. Because like the princesses, there are multiple people, but one Tally the elf has stolen the hearts of the Disney adults. And so we're going to watch a video of him now to get this Tally's vibe. Okay?
This is just like the Tumblr Peter Pan.
It is.
What is the oh my god.
Oh, I'm being distracting. Okay.
What's your name? Bob. Bob?
Always a good name.
Mr. Bear, we're looking for Bob. Naughty! Bob. I expected more, Bob. Get it together, Bob. What's your name? Chris. Naughty! Bria! Yes. You're not fooling anybody with those. You need to get it together. What's your name? Claudia. Of course. Nice.
So that's the vibe. Southern. We don't know his alphabet, but it's
probably G.
Queer coded elf.
It's probably a big capital G. It's seeming like, another life is like, I'm getting like real estate agent, like gay real estate agent vibe.
I'm getting like the only boy in the theater program.
Yes.
From Tally.
Yes.
But not straight.
Yeah.
Because the only straight boy is Ethan Slater.
Yeah.
But
Why does he kind of remind me of Ethan Slater?
No.
That's not is that an insult?
I mean, the theater
Tally's
kid.
cuter than
The
Ethan Slater.
Well, okay, so that's another thing is Tally the elf, handsome.
Yeah.
Handsome elf.
Yeah.
Kind of sweaty, but I imagine it's hard to.
Yeah.
I think a lot is
Orlando Parade.
You're in Christmas attire. I
That's
don't think
clearly
those
a
costumes
wig.
breathe.
Yeah, you're in
Yeah, he's
layers
got a
and
wig
layers.
on. We can forgive Tally for some sweatiness. Now, you mentioned Tumblr Peter Pan, so I do want to give you the floor to just explain who the Tumblr Peter Pan was.
Okay, so this was back. I was a 2014 Tumblr girl. That is my bread and butter.
Wow, coming
It's my
out of the
background.
closet.
Listen, I'm barely in the closet, but yeah, there was like a whole blog dedicated to this one Peter Pan, like one face character Peter Pan that everyone was in love with, and then I think briefly dated one of the Wendy's, and then there maybe was a dramatic breakup there. But this is a very similar energy.
A real Disney person.
Yes, a real like,
An
face
employee.
character actor, like an
Okay,
employee.
okay.
But yes, where everyone loved this particular Peter Pan and would post very similar. But basically, this makes me feel like I'm a teenager again. This is a very wholesome energy.
Famously, Kevin from the Backstreet Boys was a face Aladdin.
Really?
He was, and
Pre or post Backstreet Boys?
Pre Backstreet
Imagine
Boys,
if after,
obvious.
That would
After
be
Backstreet
that would
Boys.
be quite bleak if it's like, I think that Kevin
From the
Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet. Yeah, they have a 50-year-old white-ish guy playing Aladdin now in 2024.
I don't think he would be the first white Aladdin to grace the parts. That I'll say.
But I know that because Kevin was my favorite of the Backstreet Boys. I have a hot take saying that I'd fuck the ugliest Backstreet Boy before I fuck the hottest NSYNC person.
And would you
can
consider
sit-
the hottest NSYNC to be Justin? Because that's also up for...
Yeah,
was a big
Justin,
debate at
I'd
the
fuck
time.
the ugliest guy in Backstreet Boys before I fuck Justin or JC.
Yeah, because that is the big debate, is who do you consider to be the hottest?
JC was the clear more talent, but Justin... JC has a better voice. But anyway... Disney.
But anyway, back to Disney.
Women
and thank
with
you.
ADHD.
So it is good that you bring up the Tumblr Peter Pan because the reaction to Tally the Elf is very similar to the Tumblr Peter Pan. People start posting tons of videos. People are really enjoying him. some videos of Tally have like over 3 million views.
That's crazy.
Of him just, going like, naughty! And then like leaving.
I wonder how it feels to be Tally right now.
It's going to be tough because there's a lot swirling around him at this moment. So USA Today wrote an article about Tally.
Oh.
They're like, everybody's loving this elf. And then it's basically just the compilation video that I just showed you. And everyone's like, everyone loves this elf who will tell you you're naughty. Vibes are high. People start referring to it as Tally Talk. Videos this is really happening, Millie. Our FYPs are very different.
Wow.
I never know who's getting their ass beat on TikTok Live. Millie always
I know.
knows.
Yeah, I'm like, this person got their ass beat on TikTok Live.
I never know, but
That's my FYP.
But I'm on Tally Talk.
But you're on Tally
I think
Talk.
I'm somewhere right in the middle. But
Yeah, you're a centrist.
Yeah.
Mia comes out as a Tumblr Peter Pan centrist.
Okay. So Tally Talk is thriving. Things are good. And everything's fine. Until Disney adults start doxing the actor who plays Tally. They start finding...
we liked Tally.
I know, but people they want to capitalize on the popularity of Tally by revealing new information about him. They want to get those sweet, sweet views. So, and again, like, this is not we discovered that this actor is like problematic type doxing.
Yeah.
It's literally just they go on his IMDb. They find his name.
IMDb.
I'm just impressed that they found him all the way at the North Pole, where he lives.
Where he lives, because we're
Obviously.
keeping the magic alive on this podcast. We are party line with the Disney Corporation.
Yeah.
Well-
What if that was like, what if they doxed him and it's like Santa's workshop way?
Yeah, they're literally like, wait, this guy has no has no
That's how we
background.
discovered.
He commutes from Patagonia.
He's an unpaid elf in Santa's workshop, and then this is a Santa being exploitative story, just like Jerf Avenue or whatever. Anyway.
Oh yeah, no, I almost picked that for the grass hole, but I didn't because a white woman being mean to her employees. I mean, we've all lived that. Yeah, we've all
that
lived
sounds
that.
like any job that you get.
I wonder
Yeah.
what workplace has better conditions, Santa's workshop or like
Jerf
Disney.
Disney.
Sorry.
Or Disney. I mean, I think it's I don't know what benefits Santa's giving.
If the elves are allowed to unionize, then clearly Santa, but I doubt it on both ends. So
Yeah, it is tough. I just feel like it's one really, really hard season, and then you get a lot of time off. Whereas Disney, it's like a pretty grueling job year round, I think.
And they like didn't let people like have piercings. Like if you even if you drive the bus from the like parking lot to the gates, I think you can't have piercings or tattoos showing or anything like that. Like,
so we're gonna get into the strict world of life as a Disney face character for sure. But
so they dox his address.
So they dox. I don't think they put up his address, but they've put out his full name, which we are not doing on this podcast.
His government.
His full government name. We're not doing that to Tally. We're not doing that to him here
do
today.
that to you, Tally.
Tally, we support you. We are pro Tally
an ally.
podcast. But they like find his IMDb. They find that he was on an episode of Grownish where they go to Disneyland.
Oh wow, good for him.
Clearly he's like
Typecasting.
Yeah.
Wait,
I guess,
is he Orlando or California?
I believe he's Orlando.
Oh, okay. So he
believe he's
moved
Orlando.
to be
Magic Kingdom, or maybe not. Maybe not, because it just says Magic Kingdom.
So yeah, that's Orlando.
But no, the Magic Kingdom is like just that land. Well, it's Fantasyland technically, but I think all of Disneyland is the Magic Kingdom, and then one land in Orlando is the Magic Kingdom.
I thought California Disney was Disney California Adventure.
And then
that's
Disney.
a separate park.
That's a separate park.
Yes, Disney California Adventure is a separate park that has like California themed rides.
Yeah,
and
the
stuff.
Hollywood
But the
Tower
Magic Kingdom is like the traditional Disneyland.
Okay, got it.
And then I
don't know
think
much about California.
Magic Kingdom is like
Probably
you
for the
enter
best.
through the castle.
Yeah,
that's
it's
the Magic
one park
Kingdom.
in Orlando.
Yeah,
Disney.
and it's all of Disneyland Park.
Hi, all. Elise popping in from my editing bay, which is literally under a heated blanket in my bedroom with my cat sitting on my lap, to say that I investigated further here because I could not allow this line of conversation to go on without resolution. And based on my research, Magic Kingdom is Orlando. Disneyland is Disneyland. And California Adventure is something else. Okay, back to the conversation.
tangent. I'm glad that you don't know much about California. I love this. I love your music, first of all. And then I also love Best Coast, but I can't hear too much of Best Coast music because they're too California positive. And I don't want to fucking hear about how great California is. I want sadness, and I want to hear about how this guy won't be your boyfriend. So I love Pom Pom Squad.
Right. We need
provide
a
the
light
sadness.
drizzle.
Yeah.
Energy.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And California doesn't have that.
California don't
So
have
yeah,
that.
I'm actually not. I mean, he might have moved, but he did appear on an episode of Grownish. I was operating as though he is at the Orlando park, but he may, as you just pointed out, because of his Grownish appearance, actually be
In LA.
in LA.
So now we do need him.
Now
to
we
get
are doxing Tally. Someone please tell us where Tally is physically located. But yeah, so people find his name. They find his personal social medias. They're blasting all of that out. They're basically like making it hot for Tally and the actor who plays Tally. And this is not good because if you are on ex-Disney cast member TikTok, as I am, you will know that Disney does not like this. Disney does not want their face characters to be famous as individuals. They want you, when you are playing this character, to just be that character, whether that be Belle or Tally the elf. So
They're going to get Tally fired.
So that's when people start saying they're getting very concerned because it's called like character integrity, and they don't want you to be more famous than the character that you are playing. Even this goes like super far. So even if you are playing a character at Disney or even have played a character at Disney, you're not allowed to say like, I was Snow White. You have to say, when I was friends with Snow White. That is the party language. You are not supposed to like break the magic of the character by saying, I am Tally the elf. You have to be like, I'm friends with Tally the elf.
I actually did know this, but I didn't want to say it.
Yes.
I didn't want to give anyone a-
Yeah, you are in the middle of our two TikToks because that is niche information to know. You're not allowed to, be open about what character you played or if you played that character. And it can get very dicey. Like when I'm watching X-face character TikTok, they are like technically they could get in trouble for saying the roles that they played when they worked at the park, which is part of Disney's whole thing. These jobs are really hard to get. The casting process is really intense. It's pretty ruthless. Like for the princesses, you have to meet a height and measurement, so basically weight requirement to play every princess because the costume is one size and everyone has to fit into that costume.
Crazy.
So I remember I saw like a one-woman show in like probably like 2015 by a girl who had worked in the
Cinderella?
parks. And she wasn't Cinderella, but
Because I knew a girl who used to be Cinderella and she would not shut up about it.
was she a comedy girl?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll ask offline. But
Yeah,
this
ask offline.
woman, she wasn't Cinderella. She was specifically like the blue fairy and then also like kind of a random elf type figure.
Okay.
But either way, I remember in her thing, she said that when she went through the audition, she wanted to be the Little Mermaid really, really badly. But to be the Little Mermaid, you have to be like 5'5" or under. And she was just too tall. Because they're like, the Little Mermaid is little. You're too tall. You can't be her.
Wow.
It's right there in the title.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
No, that's true.
And when I was like researching this episode, I was going through Reddits about like characters and stuff and people trying to get advice for like their Disney audition. And it's just wild. Even in the comments, people are like, don't get your heart set on being friends with any one character. Like whatever character you become friends with is the character. Like they are so deep in this way of talking about it that even in an anonymous Reddit comment, you're going to be like, don't get your heart set on being friends with Ariel. Just be friends with whoever you're friends with, you know?
Elise was like trying to audition herself. And then
Yeah,
she's like, when I was
absolutely.
researching this
When
episode.
I was researching it
Yeah.
for this.
That's how I feel when I like go into an industry event. It's like, don't get your hopes set on being friends with anyone.
Don't get your hopes
Just
set on
show
being
up.
friends with
Just
anyone.
I'm
be
not here
grateful
to
for
make
the
friends.
you have. And that's what I always say. I didn't come here to make friends.
I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to be Ariel.
I do not have the physical stamina to be a Disney face character at this point. It's like, it's hard work. People are like, my feet would bleed every day. I'm like, you guys are crazy.
No, yeah. To not even, and you can't even put that on your IMDb.
No,
And
you should
for
not be.
what?
No.
And it's also like you're wearing like 40 layers of costuming.
It's hot. Tally's sweating so much.
Yeah.
And he's not even in the big like ball gown and all of this
And I don't
stuff.
think they're paying that well, are they?
I don't think they pay that well. I think there's a lot of discourse around what they're paid and how many hours they work and like the little amount of time they get off. It's a job that people do mainly for love of the game, and I think Disney can be kind of like exploitative of that because the people who do this job are very intense and very into it. So, which contributes to the creation of Tally Talk in general.
Yeah.
So, okay. Also, there are like, this is kind of in the same point. There are like genuine safety concerns because Disney adults can be intense and they develop parasocial relationships with these characters. A lot of, as this starts coming on, a lot of like ex-Disney face characters start coming on and being like, you guys can't be giving out this guy's name. Like I've had stalkers as characters in the park and it's not safe for you to be like giving out this guy's personal socials and all of his information because people are that wild and they will go find people and stuff. Like it gets that serious. I remember in this one woman show that I watched, and I don't know if this is the case still, but I remember that she said it at this show in 2015, that as a female character, if one of the like horny dads picked you up and threw you over his shoulder and started to run away with you, which I guess is something that happened enough that they had to have a policy about it.
Oh, God.
You have to tell him in character to put you down 3 times before you can tell him as yourself, hey, you have to put me down.
Wow. Oh, that's so fucked up to be a woman. Is to
I know. You have to go, please, sir. Please, I have to get back to the elves. Sir, please. But my stepmother is waiting for me.
Sir, put me the fuck down.
Yeah, and then you go, put me the fuck down. Like you have
I pissed by the second one. I just start pissing.
I don't think you're allowed to piss as a Disney princess.
Wow.
That's one of the rules. You got to hold it. That's the truth.
And that was pre-Trump. It's only gotten worse.
Terrified.
Okay, so how are we feeling at this point in the story?
About Tally?
About Tally.
Wow, I think sometimes fans are the real villains, you know?
Not your fans and not our fans.
Yeah.
Grass Nations, Grass Turnouts, Pom Pom. What do you call your fans?
I think just like squad, just
The squad. No,
That
the
works.
squad.
Hey, squad.
Fuck you,
How we
Taylor.
doing, squad? Oh, yeah, that was an era, wasn't
Or
it?
no.
Era.
In the era. Oh, see, nothing
That
is
was an
safe.
accident.
Nothing is safe. Nothing is safe.
I feel like also, obviously there are parasocial relationships with like huge celebrities, but I also feel like the more niche you get, the more
Scary.
like emboldened people can kind of become.
Yeah.
Like that you're not thinking about this person at all. And they also don't have power over you. Like Taylor Swift, could sue you.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say was like, there's a ton of people who have parasocial relationships with Taylor Swift and Beyonce and stuff. But those people have so much money and resources that they have just within like barriers of people to separate them in distance. But like somebody like this guy playing Tally probably lives in an apartment complex. And like, I'm just thinking like, what if he's like on a dating app and like, you know, is like trying to like just be a normal adult human and people are being
and
weird.
post in like a normal way on his social media where, people could maybe figure out like, oh, he goes to this bar, like, or he does this, but like this is, people get weird and crazy. So it's not good to dox Tally the elf.
I think actually it's not good, yeah. I think
Was that your hot take?
Actually, I think that I agree that that's not good and shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
I think
Absolutely.
that's
Hot take
what
for
I'll
Mia.
say.
Okay, so
controversial, I know.
Controversial.
You're on the side of much of Disney, TikTok, and Tally Talk. People are concerned. Then, 4 days ago, news breaks that a different actor has been spotted playing Tally the elf in the parade.
No.
Disney adult TikTok is in shambles.
Wow.
Everyone is yelling at each other. Everyone is very mad. People start spreading rumors that Tally has been fired as a result of the Tally that we were talking about has been fired. People start posting videos of the new Tally and being like, this Tally doesn't have the sauce. And I'm like,
Oh my God.
can we please leave these people who are playing an elf in this Christmas parade alone? Like, I was going to play the video of...
The new Tally?
And I do kind of agree that the new tally doesn't have the same
my
joie de
God.
vivre as
Magic.
the other tally.
But it's a different...
different interpretation of the character.
What's the Tyra Banks thing? Different is better than better.
Better. Different is better than better.
Different
That's
is
what
better.
Tyra Banks
That's what Tyra Banks says, and that's true. Different is better
Different
than
is
better.
better than better. And so I was like, I'm not going to put the new
Don't
tally
think too
on
much
the
about it.
spot.
I'm thinking a lot about it, actually.
That's what
Next
Tyra
Pom
Banks
Pom Squad album, Different is better than better.
Yeah.
It's also like, so okay, when there's a new pope, they put like white smoke. What is the symbolic gesture of a new tally being?
A new
bigger
tally has been
pencil.
crowned.
A
Yeah.
bigger pencil.
A big pencil, or like smoke comes out of like Cinderella's castle, maybe like Christmas looking smoke, that it's like there's been a new tally has been chosen.
Yeah, like a gender reveal kind of smoke.
Yeah,
That starts
exactly.
a fire in Arizona that costs millions of dollars. Two
So-
people die.
Okay.
All for tally.
All for tally.
Reminder that no one actually knows what is going on here. Like this is just, again, there are multiple people cast in these roles in general. So like we don't actually know why the beloved tally has been replaced with this new tally for these 2 days that this has gone on. But the uproar is such that the Disney Corporation has to issue a statement clarifying the
That
situation.
feels
That's
really
huge.
out of character to me. For
Wow.
Disney.
I know.
Wow, out of character.
Wow.
I'm just really.
I
in
know
it.
you've been hitting the puns.
I'm just in it.
You're in the
They
pocket.
changed the
I'm
name
here.
to Pun Pun Squad.
Fun Squad. Different is better than better.
Different is better than better.
That's like your like Wario version
Yeah.
of the band is Pun Squad. Different
Yeah.
is better than
Oh,
better.
we have so many bad versions of Pom
Pom
Pom Squad. Yeah.
Squad.
Ping Pong Squad.
Wow. Wow.
Anyway, let's talk.
Let's talk
I need
the-
to know what happened.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Disney-
the Disney Corporation does like issue they issue a clarification, because now there are all these like Disney adult website, like Disney news websites that are being like, tally has been fired. First of all, I also want to say that in researching this episode, I went on these websites and there are so many insane ads on them that my computer started running
Freezing,
very slow. Like
Fizzing.
truly,
I
I
want
was
an article that's like tally stuns in new photos.
that is
in
the
Maui.
tone of all these articles. It's like viral elf Tally is the beloved elf of like it's truly, it is very Tally stuns in new photos. But yeah, these websites, I don't know what's going on.
Your computer has chlamydia now.
Yeah, my computer was harmed by going on these Disney news websites. Like it's like, but there, so many of them are trying to contact the Disney Corporation for comment, that Disney does eventually comment to clarify that Tally was not fired. And they attributed his absence to scheduling issues. And I am happy to report that as of yesterday, the original Tally has been spotted back in the parks.
Wow.
He is back on the job. Thank
Round of
God.
applause for that.
So, not only was this man doxxed for being good at his job, he was also then falsely reported as fired.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. You can't be too good at anything.
I
You
know.
can't be too good at anything. But I also will say that it is sus that he, like, quote, had days off, because it's like, he's a Christmas elf. There's only so many
Yeah.
days. Like, it's like a Broadway run. It's like, you're going to be, like, on it for, like, 3 weeks. Like,
Yeah.
So-
I do think that Disney
put him on
put
ice.
him on ice for 2 days.
Disney on ice.
Yeah.
That's it.
Let's
friend,
get him a show.
Okay,
Let's
okay.
put him
I
on
know.
ice.
my friend was Princess Tiana on Disney
She
on
was
Ice.
friends with Princess Tiana.
Whatever. She was friends with Princess Tiana.
You're
Disney
going to
on
get
Ice.
her clapped. You're going to get her taken down
I
by
know.
the Disney Corporation.
And she had her friend of Prince Neve. They got married. She married the co-star that played the prince.
That's beautiful.
And they're like, they're a little ice skating couple.
wow. And that's the tea you get when you're a friend of Princess
Your
Tiana.
friend of-
Imagine
friend of
if
a
the
friend.
two tallies got married.
Wow.
It could.
I
mean,
feel
it
like
could
that
happen.
would be kind of magical. If he
It's
is
legal
the
for
letter in the
now.
alphabet, we are assuming he is.
Yeah. The two tallies could get married.
And you know
I would
what?
really like
We're
to
not
see
going to
that
say the
happen.
alphabet because you can't say the G in Florida. So
Yeah, that's true. Not in Florida.
not in Florida.
Let's hope he's at the LA park.
Yeah.
All right. Before I move us to our next segment, TikTok, any final thoughts on Tally the Elf, Disney adult culture, all of this?
I think above all else, I am scared. And I just hope that everyone finds peace and joy this Christmas.
Mia's like, don't do this shit to me.
Don't do this shit. Well, it's just like you can't be too bad at anything, you get dogs. You can't be too good at anything, you get dogs. It's
Wow,
just
this is a Barbie speech.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can't be too good at anything. You can't, as a woman.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so hard to be a woman and not be dogs.
As
Wanna be
an
Tally
elf,
the elf.
you
I
can't
know.
do anything. You can't want to be thin. You can't want to be this.
No.
I'm just gonna do the America for
Yes.
as Tally.
Yeah, as Tally. Naughty.
You can't say anyone's naughty. You can't say anyone's nice.
I will say that, like, this is kind of the worst case because in other situations where people have niche parasocial relationships, at least the person has some kind of, like, their online presence grows, or, like, it can go revert back to them being able to do and work on the projects they want to do, you know?
Yeah.
But this is all this fame and intention just goes back into Disney, which is what they want. And like, that's kind of the bargain that you're doing. But it's like, you're causing unnecessary heat for a bit. And he probably can't ever profit from it because of all the weird NDAs and shit that he has to sign.
Yeah, like maybe years down the line, he could be like, I was friends with the famous Tally the elf or whatever. But as
Tally
of right
the Elf
now,
finally speaks out in new expose.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And all these websites will be going crazy, even worse than before. But yeah, no, he's not like in a position now to be like, hey, I'm the guy who played Tally the elf. Like he can't even really come out and be like, stop.
No,
He
can't say anything.
he has to remain character integrity. He can't say that he's Tally the elf. People just find him.
Tragedy.
All
Well,
right.
save your niche parasocial things for our Patreon.
Yeah, for our Patreon. If you wanna
If you want a niche parasocial thing where we can all financially benefit from it, please just go to our
subscribe
Patreon.
to our Patreon.
All of our Patreons.
And, you know, you mentioned being scared, Mia. Speaking of things that are scary, we're moving on to TikTok now. We are going to take one brief moment to talk about the thousands of drones that have been spotted over New Jersey.
Mia, you're from Jersey, right?
I'm not from Jersey,
okay.
but I live there right now.
Oh, wow.
And
Have you spotted?
I haven't, which honestly upsets me because I'm. Why don't I know more? I have been following the drones, but for some reason, TikTok only shows me videos of the drones when I can't sleep and it's 3 a.m.
Wow.
And so I just am like shaking in my boots.
Yeah.
I want to know.
The boots that the Italians left.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Your only
the only ones I have.
left. The good ones.
I feel like being in New Jersey and not seeing the drones is like when everyone was like, you can see the Northern Lights in New York. And I'm like, I missed them. I didn't see the Northern Lights in New York.
I'm glad that happened to you, but it should have happened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
true.
Cool. I want
So
to see
you
fun
don't see
things in
them.
the sky. You have not seen them.
I've not seen the drones.
For anyone who doesn't know, since Thanksgiving, there have been thousands of reported drone sightings, mostly over New Jersey, though now other people are saying, like, I'm seeing the drones too. And
Attention horse.
I'm like, I don't believe them. I only believe the New Jersey
All
drones.
about clout.
I only.
It's all about cloud. Attention economy.
Everybody tries to be New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody can be New Jersey but New Jersey. And that's the truth. And Staten Island, you can hear that. So,
Staten Island's basically New Jersey, honestly.
But it's not.
But it's not. But it's not.
but it's not.
It's not.
So, anyway, that's
Are you
my
from New Jersey?
my entire family is from Union City, New Jersey. And so though
Okay.
I have never personally lived in New Jersey, I
I
do
see.
say like culturally, that is where I come from.
And that's fair. And
Jersey's
that's
a part of Millie's lore for a little bit too.
Yeah.
Really?
I did AmeriCorps in New Jersey. So that's a whole other.
Thank you for your
AmeriCorps.
service.
It's like Peace Corps, but in America, Peace Corps they send you like impoverished places in a different country. AmeriCorps you get like assigned like impoverished places in America.
Okay.
So I did Patterson, New Jersey, but then I lived in Newark and then was hanging out in Union City.
I don't know if any of the drones have been seen over Union City, but some have been seen in Hoboken, I think.
Yeah,
Really?
basically. Yeah.
So, okay, reports of these drones started spreading on TikTok by people who saw them and filmed them and were like, hey, what the fuck? Here are some screenshots. There's this one that's like spotted over a house. I will post all of these on the Go Touch Grass Instagram. Here's one where like you can see multiple drones.
Oh.
And like for them to be this big and bright, some people are like, these are huge drones. Like these are not small little things.
Like house drones.
Yeah, they're not like the drone that you get for your like father-in-law who you don't know how to shop for.
I've heard they're like the size of cars.
That's
that's
what people
crazy.
are saying is that like for them to be as big and as bright as we're seeing from the ground, that they are probably like really big, huge car-sized drones.
Okay.
So,
Everything's disturbing about this.
I know. I'm so
It's
upset.
crazy. So local media starts to pick up on the sightings, but it wasn't until last week that the story went fully mainstream. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy wrote to Joe Biden to be like, hey, I know that you haven't like shown your face in a really long time, but what's with the drones, Joe? And New Jersey Senator Andy Kim went out to search for the drones himself, and then he posted this thread on Twitter where he like went drone searching and like found pictures of them. Here's the first tweet in the thread. Last night I went out with local police to spot drones flying over New Jersey. Here's what I saw. We drove to Round Valley Reservoir, and the officer pointed to lights moving low over the tree line. Sometimes they were white, others flashed red and green. So maybe it's Christmas. Maybe they're looking for Tally.
Maybe they're looking for Tally the elf. I think, isn't it like also a thing now that instead of fireworks, a lot of places are doing drone shows?
Yes.
So that's not related at all. Like, because there's a huge drone show in China this weekend for some shit. So
Where is the show? I just want to know if it is a show, where would it be?
Yeah, I guess I just am like...
Atlantic City? I don't know.
Could be.
I am like, but then wouldn't someone be like, oh, those are our drones for the drone show? Like, no one has claimed the drones, which I think is a part of it. Mayor Eric Adams says the city is investigating.
Wow.
Like, great.
Maybe they escaped,
Well,
like,
anything to
circus.
not investigate him. What happened?
Oh, I just said maybe they escaped like from the circus, like those monkeys.
Oh, those monkeys.
Yeah, they're just rogue drones.
Yeah.
Not to bring him up again, but Donald Trump did post on Truth Social, mystery drone sightings all over the country. Can this really be happening without the government's knowledge? I don't think so. Let the public know and now. Otherwise, shoot them down. And I'm like, I guess I do not to agree with a Truth Social post from Donald Trump, but I am like, yeah, I mean, if you don't know what they are, we should probably shoot them down.
We should find out.
We should certainly find out. He also reposted an AI-generated meme that says, we now know the source of the drones over New Jersey, and it's a picture of Chris Christie being droned a bunch of McDonald's.
Yeah.
So.
Why?
I did see that, and that one hurt to laugh at. But if Chris Christie was not also evil, it wouldn't be funny, but...
It is just funny because it's like, but you love McDonald's.
Yeah,
would
you
drone
love
yourself
McDonald's. I mean, that's
it
the
doesn't
thing.
make a lot of sense.
No, it doesn't. When you understand that the things that people hate about other people are really things they hate about themselves.
Yeah, that he would love to be droned to McDonald's.
He would, because he's also like famously a germaphobe.
Yeah.
He's famous. Donald Trump loves McDonald's, but he hates, like, he's so scared of germs.
Really? I didn't know this.
Yeah, so he, that's why he has like really strict rules. When he worked at McDonald's, like that day, that press, I can't believe he's our president again. But he's like, oh, you guys don't touch the fries. He thought like these people were like physically touching the fries and putting them in the thing. And they're like, no, we use a scoop. And like, he finally like felt comfortable to order fries again. Like, just insane.
Anyway, put a pin back in Donald Trump. We don't need to keep talking about him. But so far, the government has been very weird about the drones. The DHS and FBI released a joint statement saying they have no evidence that the drones pose a national security or public safety threat from a foreign nexus, but they also won't say that they know where they came from. So obviously this has led to a ton of conspiracy theories. The Facebook page, New Jersey Mystery Drones, let's solve it.
Oh my God.
I would like to solve it, actually.
You can join. It has 44,000 members,
and
this
you
page.
will find me there.
And people will post like their own pictures of the drones, and then everyone will be like, it's aliens, it's this, it's that. Like just amateur sleuths will be like, you can tell from the light that it's da-da-da-da-da. People think that they're aliens. People think that they're from Iran. I leave the floor to you now. What do we think is going on with the drones?
As a New Jersey resident, what do you think?
Yeah, we'll leave it to the New Jersey resident first.
Like I said, I've not seen them. I feel like the real answer is probably our government. I feel like the more fun answer is how would we feel if it was aliens? Like temperature of the room.
I would be surprised because like the aliens can do better. I'm sorry, the New Jersey, they could do better.
Maybe New Jersey like is really like the
nexus.
Mecca.
Yeah, the Mecca.
Yeah. Maybe there's like energetic stuff happening in New Jersey that we don't understand, but the aliens do understand.
Maybe that's why everyone from New Jersey has a very specific vibe.
Yeah, because of the energetic field that we humans cannot recognize in the way that an alien could.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
War of the Worlds, sorry to interrupt. It took place in Bayonne, New Jersey.
It did.
Wow.
Okay.
See, this is why you gotta have a gay engineer, because that
Only gay people know.
only gay
only
people.
gay people know this.
It's so straight that it's gay.
For
War of the
anyone,
World.
for anyone who didn't hear, producer Andrew just said that War of the Worlds takes place in Bayonne, New Jersey. So that's very
Wow.
interesting.
Wow.
It's very interesting.
Well, that's where it starts.
That's where it starts.
That's where it starts.
And then it becomes of the worlds,
Of
of
the
course, and then it
worlds.
moves to
The world is just Bayonne. So we're gonna go on a world tour, which is just of Bayonne.
we're just going to Bayonne. We'll be performing in Bayonne.
Bayonne.
Wow.
That's where George R. R. Martin is from, and he like kind of bases a lot of his relationship between like King's Landing and stuff on like Bayonne.
Who's
to the city.
see? You gotta
George R. R. Martin, the writer of Game of Thrones.
Okay.
People know that.
I was people know that.
definitely
Millie
know
doesn't.
that.
I was like,
Mia
Lord of the
doesn't
Rings.
either.
Mia doesn't either. Thank
People
you,
know
Mia.
that.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're just too busy being hot to know who wrote.
You can be hot and know who George R. R. Martin is. Yeah. Thanks so much. Okay, if they were aliens, I guess I would need to know more about what they want. That's always kind
If
of.
they want our leader, go ahead. Take
Yeah,
him.
I know.
can
And
have
like,
Please take our leader. You want our leader? Take him.
I'm like, you guys want to
I
talk
hope-
to Donald Trump?
Yeah.
I guess. What do you think?
He
Have
would
fun
talk
with
to them
that.
about.
Oh my God! What wouldn't he talk to them about?
He's just yapping.
He's
Yeah.
just
Oh, he'd tell
yapping.
them everything.
He'd tell them everything immediately.
Yeah, it's he'd be like, "Have you seen this meme of Chris Christie?"
You guys are aliens? I thought you were droning Chris Christie McDonald.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I will say that like he probably will release the information as soon as he gets it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do agree that I just feel like if the U.S. government actually didn't know what the drones were from and were for, they would be out of the sky. Like, there's no way.
Yeah,
I
it's
just-
too weird.
I kind of feel like, right, like, even though a lot of these government things are nonpartisan, Trump has very loudly, like, he's not going to go by the rules, supposedly. There's, like, the dumbest people online, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, are talking about how they're going to eliminate, like, massive amounts of government jobs. Like, I'm sure it's like senioritis. They're like, okay, well, we're not going to fucking investigate shit.
We're not
You
gonna
can- that's
investigate
your-
the drone. Figure out the drone.
Figure it out yourself.
Doge.
Doge. Why don't you Doge your way out of this shit?
Oh my God.
And Joe Biden has senioritis right now in the like
In
high
both.
school and in literal sense, metaphorical and literal sense. He's just hanging out with his super hung son and
Pardoned.
Partying,
His hung and
pardoned,
pardoned son.
and just going to the beach and hanging out and fuck. You know, he's not gonna. You want him to do stuff? Y'all fired him. You gave him a 1 month notice. He's
yeah,
not
you
gonna,
tally the elf him.
you guys tallied the elf him. So guess what? He's not going to investigate. We're like, oh, the government. Man, fuck that. That's Trump and Kushner's problem now.
Yeah.
We're so fucking.
I know.
Yeah, we're so fucked.
We're done.
cooked.
We're done.
That there are just drones flying around and everyone's like, I don't know.
Oh my God, yeah, like all the comments I've seen on TikTok are like, well, I still have to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Well, watch
Do
the
I
space, guys.
disagree?
Maybe someone will reveal what the drones
it makes
are.
me feel like I personally need to go and figure out what's going on. with
I'd
these
watch that
drones.
series quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Tell
that
Fuse.
Patreon exclusive
Patreon.
content. You guys driving around and trying to find
They're
the
like
drones.
indie pop musician discovers solves the mystery of
Listen,
the
Tom
Jersey
DeLonge did it.
drones.
You can too. Pave
Tom
the way.
DeLonge did do it.
Tom DeLonge found aliens. You can listen.
You can figure out the drones. That's actually so true.
I'm gonna hit him up.
yeah, hit up Tom.
Reach out.
Say, I'm sure he's on this.
I'm sure
I'm
as
sure
someone
he's
who has like
investigating
mutual
this.
friends with Tom DeLonge, you can do it.
Hey man. Yeah. Listen, we probably know some of the same people.
Yeah, you definitely
right?
do.
You
and
definitely do.
Listen, the money's there.
Have you guys seen the Unsolved Mysteries episode with the Poconos aliens?
No, but see, these aliens,
aliens
they're
on
in
meth?
the area.
The
No,
aliens that they
sorry.
could be.
They're in the area.
Yeah, I think they're hanging out. I think
They're hanging
around.
out Delco. They're mayor of Easttown.
Yeah.
They're at Wawa. They're doing all that shit. They're
Yeah.
on the turnpike.
They're watching. Yeah, they're with the Real Housewives.
They're
right
on the
now.
Real Housewives of
Absolutely.
Jersey.
Teresa.
Yeah, let's move on. please.
Okay, let's move on
Let's move on before our podcast gets canceled.
to our final segment, Grasshole of the Week.
Yes. Our final segment where we pick someone who has to go touch grass more than anyone else. This is our one segment where we nominate someone who says please, and we tell them please log off.
Please log
Go
off.
do something else. Sometimes we say it lovingly, and sometimes we don't. This week's grass hole was really hard because so many people need to log the fuck off and do something else with their life. But ultimately, the person who actually gets grass hole of the week, I share a personal connection with. But before we get to her, for the first time in Grasshole history, we have an honorable mention for Grasshole. Our honorable mention for Grasshole of the Week goes to Peter Daring, the founder and CEO of San Francisco-based company Peak Design. Peak Design is a company that makes high-end backpacks for Silicon Valley nerds.
Okay.
And what does this have to do with anything? Well, in the now super viral talked about video of Luigi Mangione allegedly shooting CEO Brian Thompson of United Healthcare, Peter, the CEO of Peak Design, immediately recognized the backpack that the person had on, knew what model what it was, and immediately called the police to snitch. And not only did he snitch, he bragged to the New York Times about snitching in a report published on December 5th. He said as soon as he saw photos of the bag, he contacted police. Daring also told the New York Times that he would ask his company to, quote, he would ask his company's legal team to see what permission and information he could release about the customers, every customer who purchased that bag without violating the company's privacy guidelines. People were so pissed that a book bag company is not only snitching, but has everyone's information and is giving it to the police voluntarily without getting subpoenaed. They dragged him online so hard, so much that Peak Design had to issue a statement saying, we take our customer privacy seriously. And there is misinformation being shared on social media that has triggered many serious threats for the safety of not only me. Remember last week how we said, a white guy will do something shitty and then be like, I'm getting threats. And it's like, sir, you put this on yourself. Anyway.
You involved yourself in a very serious issue
then bragged
publicly
about it.
Went into the press to be like, I did this. And then it's like, dude.
Why is everyone mad at me?
Why is everyone mad at me? So he had to issue this statement. And then, so that's the honorable mention, Peter. Fuck you. Log off. Go touch grass. Log off forever. Fuck you and fuck your $300 book bags. $300 book bags for nerds. Like
I will say if I'm paying $300 for a book bag, I definitely don't want my information to be given to the police.
Well,
I'm paying the markup for you to not store my information and give it to the police.
What, a $300 book bag? You know, because it's like those tech book bags for those nerds that have like 5,000 pockets. And like can charge shit. I don't know. Fuck you. But that's our honorable mention.
I was like, okay, let's get who's the main course?
So the main course, okay. So if that's who is actually Grasshole of the Week? Well, the Grasshole of the Week is YouTuber Milagro Grams, given name Milagro Cooper.
Okay.
So this all goes back to the 2020 incident of rapper Megan Thee Stallion, completely different FYPs, who was shot in the foot by Tory Lanez after leaving a party hosted by Kylie Jenner. Megan Thee Stallion was hospitalized and victim to a targeted harassment campaign online that was pushed out by urban media blogs and by other rappers, and it was a terrible time.
It was awful.
A lot of people were claiming that Megan Thee Stallion was lying for attention, calling her all kinds of names. There are theories about how she was the one who had the gun and a bunch of other shitty stuff and theories, all for the purposes of absolving Tory Lanez from guilt. Well, it didn't work ultimately because Tory Lanez was convicted of 3 felonies and is currently serving a 10-year prison sentence. Now, where does Milagro fit in, right? Well, Milagro is a hip-hop vlogger with 74,000 subscribers on YouTube, 29,000 followers on Twitter, 43,000 on IG, and 16,000 on Twitch. She covers urban media, kind of like a independent Wendy Williams or a shade room radio thing. So people were noticing that a lot of anti-Megan hate and propaganda was coming from a few sources that couldn't be traced, and also from Milagro Grams. Milagro attended every court date there and would report complete lies. So Megan's legal team issued a subpoena for Tory Lanez and found out that Tory Lanez on his phone calls, while he was in jail, was calling his family and his team to pay Milagro Grams for harassment against Megan Thee Stallion.
So he was funding this person to put negative stories about Megan Thee Stallion.
And talked about it on his phone. On the phone.
I do appreciate Tory Lanez' commitment to being a very bad criminal.
Yeah, just the dumbest person ever.
Like, dude.
So on December 11th, Lanez, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, reportedly hired Grams, known as Milagro Cooper. Again, that was the thing. All this came out to spread false and damaging information. And Grams was used to act as Tory Lanez's mouthpiece and amplify his claims. In one call, Lanez and his father, Sunstar Peterson, are allegedly heard discussing Cooper's involvement in a campaign to harass online. The Petersons are also said to have expressed confidence that Megan wouldn't be able to prove that Lanez was paying Grams for the harassment. So they were talking about like no one would be able to track.
I'm sorry, I just get so confused when people do this stuff on the phone at jail because I feel like if there's one thing I know about when you talk on the phone in prison, it's that they record those calls and listen to them.
Yeah. Also, there are other people there.
Yeah.
So even if they didn't record the calls, if I was like the person sitting next to him, I'd be calling up the press.
Right.
Like, you're not going to believe this.
I just don't. It's very confusing to me when people are like, and then he just confessed to the whole crime on the jail phone. And I'm like, what the fuck?
He's a fucking idiot. But Milagro's worse because, okay, Grams acted as a paid surrogate and right now, Megan Thee Stallion's team is suing Grams for spreading false and hateful claims about Megan with two really main disturbing claims, right? So she was spreading a bunch of just fake shit. She would sit in court all day and then just spew fake lies. So one of the most disturbing claims was that Grams said Tory Lanez's team, and Grams would kind of promote this, saying that the gun used in the shooting had allegedly gone missing. But that's completely false. And the gun is in the custody of the Los Angeles Police Department. If you were in the court thing, you would know that. But she was going online saying, like, the gun's missing. She's lying. And
the gun has gone missing from Tory Lanez. They took it from him.
Yeah, exactly. But the most disturbing, fucked up thing was that Milagro Grams was allegedly spreading altered, basically deep fake pornography of Megan Thee Stallion to the internet. So
and what does that even have to do with anything?
To be like, just completely discredit the story.
Yeah.
So these things were getting and she knew it was fake, but she was getting paid by Tory Lanez to spread it. So she just knew all this shit was fake. She's a fucking loser. Anyway, yeah. So what do you guys think?
That's such loser behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, just the cognitive dissonance of, like, if you literally know that it's fake, wouldn't you be like, hey, why is this guy trying to like plant all this fake shit about this
she's
woman?
getting money.
Yeah, I don't understand what the benefit to you as someone who wants to be seen as like a credible source of information in this, like, on like hip hop. Like, what is the benefit to you of doing this other than,
money.
I mean, yeah, the money. But it's also, I don't know, that last point is just so gross because it's like, even if Megan Thee Stallion had made porn, that doesn't make it okay for her to be shot in the foot.
Yeah.
So it's like that. It's just part of, because I remember when all of that stuff was going down, there was like people being like trying to say, you know, basically like slut shame her and stuff. And it's very weird because it's like, regardless of who she dates or how many people she dates or what sex she has or if she does it on camera or not, which she didn't in this case, but even if she did, you can't shoot her in the foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make
like,
it
you don't
legal.
get to shoot anybody in the foot.
But again, it like builds this case that she is right, this unreliable, crazy woman. And another thing too that I was thinking was like, if you're so brain rotted and like internet thing, like you're not going to think about actually and a lot of these vloggers, like who knows if they're like they have journalism training, like real journal where you have to like source. But it's like, if you know that this is going to be hot in the news and you're putting like this fake information or the other side, you know you're going to generate clicks and attention and stuff because you're probably one of the only people that are out there saying these or starting it and stuff. And like this deep fake, whether it's real or not, like if you're brain rotted and like getting clicks is the most important thing for you, you want to promote this bullshit because it's going to get clicks no matter what, even if it's deep fake or not. And that's
not to bring it back, but it's like post in Tally's name because you want to get on you want the Tally talk views. And
Yeah.
it's like you're not even thinking about Tally.
At what
No.
cost?
At what cost to Tally?
At what cost?
2 days' wages.
2 days wages. Which
So
is
$30.
$100.
The price of one churro.
What? Yeah, exactly. One Disney churro.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, I was just like, obviously the peak design guy sucks, but this woman sucks so much
So
because
much worse.
Yeah.
because it's like not only were you just lying and like whatever, you were doing it for money, and it's like it's Tory Lanez. It's not like he's like giving you millions of dollars. Like he's just not. He's just not. He's not. Doesn't have it like that. And also it's straight up lie. And also like you don't care about hurting a woman.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is it's like it's a crime against womanhood to like promote AI porn of people and like
Correct.
deep fake porn. Like that's just one of those things where even if you like have a self-preservationist streak, it's like you don't want this type of shit to exist.
No.
Because it could be used against you.
It also just goes to show just like how much we hate women as a culture, and especially just like a woman who has sex is bad.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, if she does it on camera, that's bad enough to like discredit a crime being committed
Right.
against
To make
her.
it seem like she's a liar when it's like, well, what's the correlation there even?
Also, what's the lie that she
Yeah.
had sex on camera?
Yeah, I'm just like, what even, like, those aren't related. It's actually, because that's the thing, is like, it's not actually about discrediting her. It's about like humiliating her
Yeah.
and like taking her
Yeah.
down a peg, which a lot of this discourse with the Tory Lanez stuff
Yeah.
was about just people who are mad that Megan Thee Stallion is not just a dominant force as like a female hip hop star and rapper, but just in music in general. She's one of
Yeah.
like the biggest artists out right
Yeah.
now. She's extremely popular and influential.
And talented and all
And
this
beautiful.
stuff.
Yes.
So it's like taking her down a peg. Also, like there's this guy's gal mentality of like, well, I'm cool because I'm unbiased, or like I'm rolling
Yeah.
with this guy, or this guy's paying me. I go whatever. And what people are saying about Milagro right now is that she's gonna go in the Tasha K camp, which Tasha K is the vlogger who said all those lies about Cardi B. Then Cardi B like sued the pants off this woman, and this woman's like owes like millions of dollars to Cardi B, and that's kind of the route that like Megan and Milagro have mediation in March. And yeah, the online saying is saying she's not gonna have 2 pennies to rub together
Yeah.
by March. So
Yeah, I hope whatever Tory Lanez paid you was worth
Your
the
legal
legal fees.
fees.
Exactly.
yeah,
and
it's
it's
not.
like,
There's no way.
yeah. I think it's a play to try to get like a male audience, because if she is like on YouTube and
She's on Twitch.
and Twitch and stuff, it's like, and she's talking about hip hop. Obviously, there are women who watch
Yeah.
all of that and listen to hip hop and all that stuff, but I bet that there's like
Those cute Twitch.
It's
streamers.
skews.
It's a very
the- it-
male-centric culture.
space, and so it's like, oh, if I can get this guy like guys girl energy, then maybe they'll watch me.
Yeah, so it's really interesting because I saw like a clip of her speaking recently, and she's like, I don't like when artists interview other artists, like how right now like all famous people have podcasts and stuff, and it's like you're not-
Us and
yeah.
how we're interviewing Mia.
Well, yeah,
and,
Mia's
and we're
not
all
gonna
very
get
famous
any
and
higher than this. Honestly, it's Colbert, us, and then I don't know. It's like yeah.
And then I'm working at McDonald's.
Yeah,
and then
I
you're
know.
shooting down drones in
And we're
Jersey.
shooting down drones in Jersey, and we're watching it.
Honestly.
I told you I'm subscribing to that.
Pivot of the century.
Yeah, but she's just like, I don't like, because they're not really authentic when they're talking to other artists, and they're not really getting real conversations, and no one's holding their feet to the fire. And I'm like, Milagro girl, from Millie to Millie, and that's the personal connection.
Wow.
From Millie to Millie, what the fuck are you doing? Go touch grass.
Go
Millie.
touch
For
grass.
the crime
Touch
of lying
grass.
for clout and money on Megan Thee Stallion. Milagro Grams, go touch grass.
Wow.
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 We covered so much in this episode.
We covered
I'm
so much.
exhausted.
I'm exhausted.
I'm tired.
I'm gonna go listen to some Pom Pom Squad to fucking get my spirits up.
Yes.
Mia, where can we find you?
You can find me on the internet at Pom Pom Squad on, I think, everything.
Yeah. And check out the new album, Mirror Starts Moving Without Me.
It's on Spotify.
It's on
I listened to
Spotify.
it on my way in here.
I've listened.
I did. 'Cause
I love
said-
I love the new album. You know I love Drunk Cheerleader. You know I love the voicemail one. What's the voicemail?
Drunk
one?
voicemail.
Drunk voicemail, head cheerleader.
That's okay.
Drunk voicemail, head
That,
cheerleader.
maybe that's the next one. Who's to
Drunk
say?
cheerleader.
Drunk cheerleader.
Listen, talking about skewing male.
No.
Pen Pen Squad's album "Different Is Better Than Better" featuring Drunk Cheerleader for single.
Yes.
Yes. And it's just, there's all the interludes are Mia looking for the New Jersey drunk.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, look at this. We've already concepted your
I
next
know. Look
album.
at how creative this got.
Wow.
Honestly, I feel like I'm leaving here with a lot to think about.
Yeah, when creative people get together and when women and mental
Women,
illness are allowed to
Yes,
thrive.
wow. Because it's legal for us to talk for now.
As we said, we're allowed in this time, and the pin remains in Donald Trump discourse. Guys,
Yes.
Help.
Nope, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. Guys, you can listen to this podcast where you're listening to it now, but you can also follow us at Go Touch Grass Pod on everything. You can follow me at Pandalise on Instagram and Elise Navidad on TikTok for as long as we've got it, up until January 19th.
Yeah.
You can find me on TikTok as well.
Yeah. You can follow me at Millie_Tamaris on TikTok and on Instagram. Millie Tamaris on Twitter and Blue Sky. I'm on so many of these fucking apps. Check out our newest Patreon. We're gonna talk about Nurse Hannah.
Wow.
And that's gonna be crazy.
It's going to be crazy. And until next time,
Go touch grass.
That was a HeadGum podcast.
Hi, I'm Caleb Herron, host of the So True podcast, now on HeadGum. Every week, me and my guests get into it, and we get down to what's really going on. I ask them what's so true to them, how they got to where they are in life, a bunch of other questions, and we also may or may not test their general trivia knowledge, whether it's one of my sworn enemies like Brittany Broski or Drew Wallow, or my actual biological mother, Kelly. My guests and I are just after the truth, and if we find it, great, and if not, no worries. So subscribe to So True on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, or wherever you get your podcasts, and watch video episodes on the So True with Caleb Herron YouTube channel. New episodes drop every Thursday. Love ya.